Welcome to the Light Home Sustainable Design podcast series. We talk with the architects and builders about green design and homes that really suit the way we love to live.
Yeah, my name is Brett Blacklow. I have a design and construction company in southeast Queensland called Earth Spirit Home. I studied architecture in the 80s and have been practicing design for 20 years, and I've been a registered builder for a decade now, constructing as well. Yeah.
But how did this Smarter Small Home project come about in the first place?
The Smarter Small Home was a big change for my business. I had spent the last 20 years primarily doing high-end houses with budgets from maybe $1 to $4 million. I'd been having some discussions with a friend in the industry in a very informal manner, and we were discussing housing affordability, and I was suggesting what I thought was wrong with our solutions and with what we were doing in the industry, and I was challenged, I guess, after I was saying that, to put my money where my mouth was. Some time passed, but eventually I decided that based on some research and becoming a parent and understanding just how unachievable the Australian dream was becoming, I set about putting what I thought was the first step towards housing affordability on a plate, so people could hopefully take those ingredients and deliver more variance to the community.
Perfect. And what makes these smaller smart homes so affordable, Brett?
The affordability of the Smarter Small Home relies on a lot of factors, but probably the two most important ingredients are the two-storey design and the compact footprint. A home consists of two significant elements, the building itself and the land. And as a builder and architect, I can't affect the price of the land, but I can reduce the size of the land I need to provide a home. And so by coming up with a fully two-storey house that has quite a small footprint, I can provide houses on blocks of land, 200 square metres and less, that still have backyards and lots of ventilation and areas to park cars. And obviously, therefore, when you combine the land component and my house component, the cost of acquiring a home becomes much less.
Perfect. And what makes these homes different to other home designs on the market?
The difference of the Smarter Small Home from what is readily available is a little and a lot. On face value, the house doesn't look that different to any other house, other than the fact that my houses are typically lightweight. But on further inspection and understanding the process, I guess the house bucks the current trend to present desirability as a factor of size and accumulation. My solution is to provide the essentials for living and then to encourage the occupants to make a life outside of their home. So go to the cinema, don't sit on your couch and watch TV. Go outside and sit on the sun, don't sit inside and flick the air conditioning on. Go outside and pick some vegetables, don't go to the supermarket.
And who would these homes appeal to?
Initially, when I started designing this Smarter Small Home, I believed I was designing a house that would appeal to the first home buyer. The more I did my research and the more I understood what's happened in the Australian housing market, the more I realised that the Smarter Small Home and houses like it appeal to just about every Australian, and definitely people from every part of our stage in life. The Australian home is the largest house, average house in the world. There's been a lot of increase in the size of our house over the last 30 years, and typically now our research shows that a large percentage of our homes have 2 or more unused bedrooms, and there is a growing rate of single-person occupied houses in Australia, yet we continue to build 4-bedroom houses. So regardless of the sustainability benefits and all of the other benefits of my Smarter Small Home approach, the basic concept of building smaller and more compact is a much better solution for smaller families or families with no kids or divorcees or pensioners. There's numerous people in the community who need a solution like that.
And what are the benefits to designing and building to that motto, designed to fit, not cut to fit?
I have for years thought that we should be designing our buildings around material size. I hadn't understood it completely until I really sat down with this whole process of designing the smarter small home. Obviously, if you design a building around material size, you're going to reduce waste. And that means you're buying less material, so you're saving some money. And that, I think everyone that understands that saving. There's obviously a significant cost these days in disposing of waste. So if we've got less waste, we're disposing of less waste. So there's a second layer of the saving. The third layer that I hadn't given a lot of consideration to is if you design your building around material sizes and your people on site understand that, then they don't need to go to the building, measure, mark out, cut, throw something in the bin and then pick it up and install it on the building. They pick the product up and install it and move on. And that labour saving, especially with the rates we pay today, becomes a significant labour saving. And so there's a direct cost saving there. But if there's less material and less labour, there's less time. And if there's less time, it's actually cheaper. So there's even a fourth layer there to the saving. So the actual waste saving becomes a very beneficial economical solution. And then it comes with numerous environmental benefits as well. We're not, contributing materials to landfill or giving them to, recycle processes which are using a lot of energy to recycle in the first place. So there's, a number of benefits to designing to the size of the material. The question, how green is the smarter small home? I would say there's no comparison. I believe that sustainability is a little bit greyed in most people's opinion at the moment. They think that if you get a 6-star rating or a photovoltaic panel on your roof, you've resolved the sustainability crisis and we can start looking for something else. There are numerous layers to sustainability. There's the financial, the economic and the social levels all to be considered. And so I believe that my solution has addressed all of these and it has gone further. It looks at, obviously if you use less land to house people, our urban sprawl is retarded a little bit. My buildings have much less off-gassing and toxicity, so they contribute less and less to the ill health of occupants. They actually encourage people to go outdoors, so potentially they actually contribute to people becoming healthier. So on many levels there are benefits that I guess would come under the banner green with the smarter small home. Most people obviously want a number, and so typically I would say my house is 85% better because we have done extensive embodied energy, CO2 emission or carbon emissions, building waste calculations and toxic emission calculations. And those four elements all seem to come in around about an 85% reduction on what the standard Australian house has.
I mean, how much faster can these homes be built than a traditional structure built with heavier materials?
We still building in normal building techniques, so turning up to site with utes and sticks of timber and putting a house together so that from an outsider watching it goes together like any other house, we would build a 2-storey, 4-bedroom house in 6 to 8 weeks. So the whole rapid construction process has become an extremely important ingredient to the smarter small home recipe, and it has become an even important aspect of my business. I now comprehend just what the financial impact of construction time is, and for a very brief example, if we said someone goes and buys a block of land for $300,000 and they want to build a $300,000 house on it, and that normally takes 6 months to build. If I build it in 8 weeks, I have saved them $25,000 before tax. That's in alternative accommodation costs, in land holding costs and in construction finance costs. Now that's real dollars that those people don't have to spend, and they're dollars that the home buyer has to find outside of their finance as well, because your bank won't finance your alternative accommodation or the holding costs of their own loan. So the rapid construction comes with a significant financial benefit as well as the desirability of having the house finished a lot quicker.
What materials did you use and what made you choose them?
Well, firstly, I chose fibre cement for a number of factors. I didn't know at the time, I was embarrassed to know that James Hardie offered the paint companies offered an extended paint warranty. They increased their paint warranty to 15 years if I use James Hardie's fibre cement products because of essentially how good the substrate is to apply paint to. Now, when you're looking at affordable buildings and reducing maintenance, reducing costs, that was a great attractor to me. The products are also termite resistant. They have high durability. They're lightweight, so my guys can get them up onto scaffolds for a 2-storey house a lot easier. Lots of the products come in large sheets, so we cover a large area of the building in a short period of time. And they have a large range of textures and profiles, so I can come up with varied facades very, very easily. So after doing all the research and finding all of these points of benefit, I then ended up using quite a lot of material. So externally, I've used HardieFlex because it's a very, very economical material to use. And I've mixed that with linear because it's a really attractive looking material with high durability, so I can break my design up. And I've also used Axon on the outside again. The Axon again comes in a sheet, so it covers a large area, so quick installation, a completely different texture again, so I get lots of different lines and texture on my building. And I used a lot of the accent trim externally again because of its durability. Internally, I used the Secura flooring. Again, it was quicker to lay than any other product, and because of the floor finishes I chose, it conformed with my delayering concept of always trying to use less materials to finish a job. I didn't then have to use underlays and things for my floor finish, so it meant less people on site, quicker building time, and a quicker solution. I used Stria in my wet areas, specifically in my laundry. A lot of people in the wet areas, again, we put numerous materials on the walls and waterproofing and tiles, and this is an external product that's designed to be able to be rained on and not leak, so I used it internally. It gives a really durable, really striking look. Again, one person installs it, it's one product, and my bathroom's ready for painting and moving on, rather than 4 or 5 different trades and different people. And finally, I used the Horizon cladding, which we got from New Zealand, and I believe will be available very shortly. It's a wet area lining, and it follows the same solution as the Secura and the Stria. It's one product, one process, one person, and the room's ready for fit off.